measuring takes the longest for me. I don't really have a proper table, so I lay this shit out here on the ground, you know. But for most stuff, it's not that hard. This is a pretty good material. For Corn Pop 2.0, I'm gonna make him a rig, and he's got a lot of underbrush and dead vegetation and stuff where he's at, and a little bit of green. And this Pencott Badlands is pretty much perfect for that. It works really good down here too. You'd think Florida would be like all those greens and stuff, but if you're getting low, this is the stuff right here. This stuff works so good down here. But I used as a template the first most annoying piece to cut with my current setup is the strap, and I'm doing another strap here. So this is a 42 by 4 1/4. So once you get this cut out, the rest of the measurements for the rig are really not that big of a deal. And, I got some cool filler material I'm going to use that's close in color, and you shouldn't really see any of it, but that's Kevlar. That's aramid actually. So it'll add a little bit of strength to it too. I mean, there's not going to be enough for it to have any ballistic bullshit going on, but you know, you jam your shears or a cleaning rod in the wrong way or something, you know, and it'll stop it from poking through maybe. That sort of thing. But this is how it starts right here. Me sitting here saying, God, I hope I don't screw this measurement up because this is a long piece. And when you make clothing, a yard of fabric goes like that. But when you're making gear, if you're smart about how you lay out all your cuts, a yard of fabric can go a long way. And if you make a mistake, it's a killer, because that's material that you can use for other things, you know. And this stuff, I'm trying to stay on the not so easy to find materials, you know, because I'm so small. I mean, this is individual, custom, I guess you would say, right? I mean, I don't want to use the same stuff that everybody else is using. I want to find this shit that's impossible to find. This isn't impossible to find, but it's up there. It's a little difficult. And this stuff is, oh God, it's 1,000 denier coated. It's a beautiful thick. I mean, it feels like cardboard when you grab it. Terrible for clothing. Good for like ponchos, but maybe awesome for bags and pouches. I mean, this is just like the best stuff that you can use. So this is gonna be, the quality's gonna be there. If the ball gets dropped on this, it's gonna be because I make a mistake and I make it look like shit. And I probably will. So, you know, you will explore this along with me as it happens. All right, so step one, right off the rip here. See how the coating, it's a polyurethane coating, and it makes it kind of shiny on the inside there. Notice on the end how it's not there, because that's part of the fabrication process. It's totally normal. But before I make this measurement, I've measured off my 4 1/4. It looks longer, but it's, you know, it's not. I'm gonna cut this part off, and then I'm gonna make my measurement. I don't want to include the non-coated stuff because it might let water in, and now with this stuff coated, if water gets in, it can't always get out. So I don't want this to compromise what I'm doing here, you know. I don't know how hard Corn Pop gets it out there, but I know Kentucky gets really wet at times of the year. So yeah, this one little move here could maybe save a little bit of trouble later. So when I find a fancy nylon, I kind of label it and set it aside because it's kind of expensive. So that's 1 yard, that's 2 yards, just to give you you do one of these sets of straps, and it's more than a yard. It's a bit less than 2, but one kind of won't do it because there's a pretty big long stretch for that second one. So I might use this for my ATAX one and figure out something for the bottom later. You know, not too worried about it. But I was gonna make my son one in Flectarm set of straps, so kind of got that set aside for him. But here, I did find a Krydex krydex nylon, and it's not the same, but it's close-ish, you know. It's close enough that it'll work. So that's what we're going to use. It's not going to stand out too bad. It does have some light spots that kind of jive with the light spots on this pattern. It does get a bit greener. I think they're trying to do mandrake on this, but it's really hard to tell because it's so it's so China, right? But it's a little darker on this side, looks like. So I'll try to make sure this side's out. I'll put the light side out. And yeah. Anyway, just keeping you abreast of what I'm doing here. Last but not least, you're gonna need 6 clips. It's not all gonna go on the strap. Half of it's gonna go on the strap. 2 males, 4 females will be on this set of straps. But when you make your rig, you're gonna use the rest of it. Now, if you're looking at this because you just want to figure out how to make one of these, there's better videos than what I'm doing, man. I'm just, people said they're curious, so I'm walking people through it, you know. But I'm talking way too much for this, right? I should just be jumping right in and getting her done. But like, yeah, 6 clips, okay? If you got the little retainer pieces, even better. I've got a bunch of those in bags out there, and I'll use at least, I'll probably use 2 of them, you know. I may not need more than that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay. So, if you got fat fingers, you might want to do this 4.5, you know, because it does get tight. You got to turn this inside out and then sew it, and it's going to come out like a tube, you know. Well, you got to flatten it out and sew it again on either side just to keep it flat, to get that width, you know. You can go another 1/4 inch. It's easier that way. I'm trying to get them a little slimmer to match like the ones that you buy, like, you know, at the store and all that shit. But yeah, normally I go an extra 1/4 inch. I didn't realize how much harder it was going to be to go slimmer. But man, a little crappy pair of pliers goes a long way here too. And like I said, I was sticking my finger in, holding it down and pulling and getting some of it out, and using pliers when I would get into the knots and stuff. But yeah, this is a pain in the ass. It takes quite a bit of time, and it sucks. So it's all downhill from here, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it already looks better when you get that one stitch in there, you know? But when you put the next one in, that's when it starts to look like a strap. And I mean, I did not do this perfectly. It's a little short on this side, it looks like. It's going to be shorter there than it is over here, but hopefully that comes out in the wash, and hopefully I can get this flattened out real good. If I can do that, man, this thing's basically a wrap, you know. Now you're finding the middle. It's pretty easy to do. You touch these 2 together, you got the middle. Then you measure in on 3 inches, then you do a fold. And I'll show you the fold. You can understand it once you see it. So I don't really need to describe it. It'll take me too long. Okay, so this is one that's, this is a real one, right? And, put this on 10 over here. 6 over there. So see how that's 6 inches, and then it's folded like so. So you're gonna fold it under and tack that. This nylon will go on later. Forget about this one. But that's what we're doing. That fold. 3 inches from the center. We'll throw the Velcro on. We'll do all that other shit, but that's what it's gonna look like. So should look something like that. Stitch has got a little rough there, but you know what? That's because I don't know what to do. I think I stitched too much on some spots, but you know what? It makes it stronger, and I guess this shit's gonna be ugly but cast iron. You know what I mean? And you can tweak it when you get this thing set up and you measure your interval. You might have to play with it a little bit. And let me see what I came out with. Yeah, this one ended up being 6 3/4, but that's all right. Corn Pop's a big dude. I was messing around with the, you know, making these match and measuring that, and I just started kind of winging it and doing my own thing. And this ended up longer, so I mean, it'll work for him because I mean he's pretty broad, so this will be all right. But somebody else, this might have been junk right here. I think he might actually prefer it to be bigger. So I don't know. Pretend like I did that on purpose, you know. That's not a perfect match, but I had some fancy Velcro and I threw it on. And, you know, I'm looking at it now, and I didn't get it totally straight. I guess it was maybe straight on the top. No, it's not even straight on the top. I did it crooked. I did that crooked. And, you know, it kind of makes me angry. And I think that it's for Corn Pop. And I don't really like him anyway. I mean, who the hell does he think he is? And let me add this. See, I already had some tan nylon. I had it. I was like, I'm good. But no, for him, I got whatever the hell this color was. I forget what they call it, but it matched better, and I got it. And here he is, sitting high and mighty, thinking he's so important. And here I am slaving away buying nylon to fit his stupid straps with the crooked ass Velcro. It's a little touch, but you know, the end there, it can look ugly. That was part of that mistake that I had to fix. You throw a little piece of that nylon on and it fancies it up, you know, looks a lot better. So we do that next. And so far, that's what that looks like. I mean, you stitch it on. Pretty easy. You kind of capture it, get your angle set. That one's a little off. But if Corn Pop wants to bitch about that, you know what? I think everybody hates that guy anyway, so maybe he deserves for this to be crooked. So I cut these straps, what, 21 inches, I think. I got that number off of a video. That's how long I made my other ones. It worked. Leaves a little bit of material left over to do molly straps and shit on the straps. That's why I did these last. I could have did them first, but I didn't want to get lost in that and then use more than this and then not have enough for this. You know what I mean? I had 2 yards of this stuff, but when you start talking straps and 21 inches, I mean, that's more than a yard gone, boom, like that, you know? So a yard of this fabric would go a long way, but a yard of this stuff, man, it's gone the second you get it. I eat this stuff, it seems like. Oh, check this shit out. I'm putting the last freaking loop on for like a headset, and I perfectly freaking sew the strap onto the other strap. Now I gotta rip all this shit out. This is some bullshit right here, but whatever. Alright, so this is pretty much the finished product. Got the clips on. It's a female on that one and a male on this one. I ran short, so I used the other nylon in the middle, which came back in this one. And then I threw one of these to run if you're running a hydration carrier, you like to have one high. And also, if you have a clip for a headset, like an H250, the little one that was left over it's pretty much long enough to run one of those, so I threw that on there. And that's pretty much it. That's a wrap, you know. It took me entirely too long to make this. I'm way too slow, but I mean, it's done, you know. Whatever.